Hey punks! Welcome back to the University of Radlands. We have another Cult of Chrome preview for you, number 7. As always, I will link Daniel's Board Game Geek post in the description below. Feel free to read that first and then come back, or watch this and then go there. However you want to do it. Let's talk about the new card, number 7, that he has posted. So this one is called Incinerator. It gives you one starting card to begin the game with in your hand. And then for 1 water, you can discard 2 cards, not the water silo. You may use their junk effects. Then you get to deal a damage. This is a pretty awesome card, as long as you have cards to discard. You discard 2 cards first. Then you may use their junk effects. So you don't have to, but if you're going to be discarding a card anyway, you might as well take advantage of that card and use their junk ability in your favor. And then you get to deal a damage to something. So the type of junk abilities that we have available to us in the game are, you can restore something, you can draw a card, injure a person, gain a water, gain a punk, or play the raiders, or advance them along the event queue. Couple things to keep in mind. The discard happens first, so you wouldn't be able to just discard the Exterminator, trying to draw a card, and then junking the card that you drew. So you at least have to have 2 cards in your hand to be able to use this ability. So if you only had the Exterminator, you couldn't activate this because you couldn't junk this for the draw a card, and then junk that card that you drew. And then also with the restoring, if Incinerator was damaged, you would not be able to self-restore, which is in the new 1.2 rulings. Since Incinerator is the one that is initiating or activating the junks, you cannot restore Incinerator if you are junking for a restore. So just a couple things to keep in mind there about the wording and the order of the card. Some stuff that combos well with Incinerator in terms of camps. I'm going to bring out Mulcher, just like kind of we had with Death Ray. 0 water, destroy a person that you have, then draw a card. So this is a way to get back cards into your hand that maybe you've been junking and you're kind of running low. So that's a good pairing. In terms of maybe camps that have been revealed already, so Draft Office might be a good combo with this. You couldn't really use them the same turn unless you had Water Silo or a way to gain a water, because Draft Office costs 3, but get 2 cards. If you have a 4th water like the Water Silo, discard it, get a water, and then you could activate Incinerator and discard the 2 new cards that you drew. And then as for cards in the Punk Draw deck, Rescue Team is a good one. Again, a way to bring cards back into your hand after you've played them or used them, so some card advantage there. The other benefit of this is you can know what cards you're returning into your hand or what junk effects or abilities that you might want. So if you want a water, return a scout. If you want an injure, return a repair bot, etc. So that's pretty awesome with Rescue Team. Gives you a way to pick and choose what junks you're putting back into your hand. Truce is another one that gives you, card advantage back for Incinerator. And this is actually a really good combo just in itself, because Truce is 2 water, bring back all of your people. All of your opponent's people go back to their hand, and since Incinerator just cost 1, your last water can go towards Incinerator, discard 2 cards, and this damage on Incinerator is now fair game to hit any of your opponent's camps because they don't have any more people. And of course, if you can pair Uprising with Truce to kind of get that combo going, just to have more cards and potentially more junking abilities in your hand, that's a really good combo as well. So pretty similar synergies to Death Ray, like I said, just looking for ways to bring cards back into your hand. So you have more options in terms of what you're choosing to discard. This was probably one of my favorite camps that we had during the play testing that I used. I'm a player that tends to lean towards junking as a mechanic anyway, and I might even potentially over junk a lot of the time. So to have a camp or a card that was playing towards something that I was already doing anyway and just getting a little extra out of that is pretty awesome. So if you are already a junker of cards, I would say you're really going to enjoy Incinerator. And as Daniel explained in his post, this one has gone through a couple different iterations to get the wording just right. Before it didn't mention the discarding first, it just mentioned something to the effect of junk 2 cards from your hands, and then you could deal a damage, and that's where you could get kind of that wonky stuff with, I only have 1 card, so I'm going to junk my draw a card to draw another card, and then junk that card. So kind of been fixed in that regards to make a little bit more sense. Have to have 2 cards in your hands to discard. You don't have to use the junk abilities, but it's probably pretty advantageous to use the junk abilities, and then you get to deal a damage. So this was a really fun one to play with and test with and kind of fix the different levers and pulleys with it. Let me know what you think, punks. Is this one you're excited about? Do you think this might change your play style a little bit if you're not much of a junker? Comment below. Let me know. I want to talk about it with you. And as always, stay thirsty, punks.